Mark, if this isn't the best podcast that anyone has ever heard, ever, well, then I'll apologize right to their face. I was going to offer to paint their car, because who's going to want me to paint their car? It's easier just to say, you're right. That was, God damn, that was the best one I've ever heard.
Just show up with a paintbrush.
In the history of a roller, man. A paintbrush. What is this, 1930? You show up with a couple of cans of spray paint and you just say, hey, where do I start? And a roll of Scotch tape. Not the blue painter's tape, just Scotch tape.
Are you going to tape up the windows? No, I'll just roll them down.
That's for my nose. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you want the outside painted too? That's what I would say. And then they would say, yes, your podcast is superior.
Hi, Jim.
Hey, Mark.
Who are we?
I ask myself that all the time. But I think it says on the outside of the arena that
You're really having trouble with your microphone.
My microphone is doing its thing. I gotta tighten her down. See, look, you can see the loops, but now it's toit.
Nice.
Like a toiga. But yeah, when I look at when I walked in the arena that we record in front of the live audience, it said the Ascertainers tonight only. So we must be the Ascertainers.
Whose name is billed first?
It just says the Ascertainers featuring Jim. And then if you watch it scroll, Jim gets bigger. Okay. And then it blows up. And then it says and Mark. But that goes fast. So
I thought they had the fixed lettering like in the old days. Get on a ladder.
Oh, you're thinking about a marquee. No, this is all digital, Mark. This isn't like when you were growing up. This isn't like the movie theater in Inglourious Bastards. Remember that scene?
I was not there.
She's up there changing the letters. I'm not saying you were on their side, but I'm saying that you were old enough that it's feasible. You could have been there. You could have been Gerlomi. Is that what one of the soldiers' names was?
I don't recall.
They were trying to act like they were Italian. Yes, I have to say it, Gerlomi. And the guy struggled to say it. It was quite a scene. I'm a big fan of that particular movie. In fact, I think I'm a fan of all of the Tarantino works except Kill Bill 1 and 2, which I will just recount a story that we talked about earlier tonight, where I saw a little thing on what the little thing called the internet, and it said that in Pulp Fiction, when Vincent Vega, John Travolta, and Mia Wallace, played by Uma Thurman, were sitting in the diner where they were sitting inside of a car eating $5 milkshake scene. So she talks about that she was in a pilot, and she described the characters in the pilot and the plot of this pilot, and she is literally describing Kill Bill 1.
And I said, I never knew that.
And I said, I never knew that, but I also only know a little bit about Kill Bill because I couldn't watch it. It didn't hit me. James Brown. Does he do that? Otherwise, I just made a fool of myself, and I think I pulled a muscle. So yes, this is the second episode of the night, but Mark's calling it the feature episode because we have a topic for this one, and both of us prepared for the topic.
I never label anything.
No, we knew that we had to get two recorded tonight because of Ascertainers have commitments, and we can't just give you one every week and record 1 week, put it out the next. We have to put a few in what we like to call the can or the pantry, like a jar of pickles.
Jim has been hanging with me too often in the past 2 weeks that he says, I got to take a week off. People think we're an item.
Let's see if this is too often. We saw each other it's Friday right now, the 24th. So Friday the 17th, we spent 4 hours together between golf and sushi and dodging accusations, I might add. Just a couple of guys out on a Friday night having sushi together. Nothing to see here, people.
Right.
Good God.
Why is our sushi on one plate? Why is our salad on one plate?
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, exactly. Why did Mark get a rose and I didn't? But anyway, so then we saw each other on Sunday when we were just going to record, but then we watched the entire World Cup final, which was 7 or 8 hours, it felt like, and then we recorded. And then I saw him on Wednesday when we went to the Canterbury Park, the horse track in town, and bet on the ponies with a couple other guys. So that even looked weirder. We got to get a girl in the mix sometime. I like when we bring Chris along and stuff. I think it throws people off the scent, the trail.
she did help out at the Guess Who.
Kinda, I guess. They thought she was our nurse.
Well, she sat in between us, thankfully.
Yeah, I know you were cool with that, but yeah, I insisted. Mark, it's still light out this summer. It's light out. Wintertime, you can do your thing. Work your magic.
And then we met up today, Friday.
And then there was today. And then we went to Newt's, the finest sponsor a podcast ever had. I was so excited to go to Newt's. And not only did I have the feature sandwich / burger / whatever, I had the Cubano. It was done. It was very well executed. And I think it was a favorite thing I've ever had there the whole time I've ever been there. And I've had some, like, a long list of excellent entrees, if you will. Too many to count. But anyway, and I forgot to mention, we saw our buddy Kent tonight.
We did.
And he had family in from Omaha. So they were sitting in a big long booth. I chatted him up a couple times, and that's just a high quality human being. I aspire to be as cool as Kent is cool. Effortless, genuine, interested, not interesting, or more focused on being interested than interesting. And that alone makes him interesting. It's like a total universe mind. I just mouthed the word. It starts with F and rhymes with muck.
Because he's trying to cut down his cursing.
Muck. Yeah, because we got a neighbor kid listening. What's up? Hang on. Beckham, what's up, man? It was Beckham. Not doing last names. It's not David Beckham, as far as you know. But he plays soccer, so he's probably down on us for the World Cup.
I got to see Kent earlier in the week. He lives in my neighborhood, and we were both out enjoying less humidity.
Yes, we got a little reprieve from the intense 90-plus degree heat in Minnesota, which is not unusual, but we had like 7 days in a row of it, or 11 days in a row. I think it was what I saw.
It was a lot.
It's been hot and it's been smoky because of forest fires up north. But anyway, you saw Kent and you said what?
I said hello.
God, great story.
And he turned around and started running.
Hold on, there's more? Oh, so yeah, he ran away?
So I tackled him and I said, "Hey, Kent, it's me, Mark." He goes, "I know."
I know. Why do you think I ran? Classic Kent. So, yes, but we saw Kent at Newt's, and that's the important thing. If you want to see Kent, go to Newt's or go jog where Mark does. You might even see Mark jogging. That's worth a...
Yeah, it's not really jogging.
That's worth a trip, too. But I've seen him jog. You can't tell that I'm using finger quotes around the J and the G, but...
Jogging.
Guess you just run. Great line. So he has, by the way, Will Ferrell has a new show called, I forget what it's called. He's a golfer, though. The Hawk. It is. Yeah. And I started watching the first episode, and it's probably got potential. It's pretty dumb, but that's what I like. I like me some dumb because I'm usually such a serious thinker. I read a lot of journals and menus and stuff. And sometimes I just want to really relax my brain a little bit. I don't like to be pent up.
I can understand that.
Like this tonight, this is hard for me. I would rather be deep in a deep in a journal. No, urinal. Wait, I don't know how to pronounce the J, but anyhow. Song of the week. We got stuff to talk about. We actually have a topic.
Song of the week.
All right.
They'll love them.
You're up. I went first last time.
Well, I'll put my glasses on.
Glasses.
I have to write out exactly what I was going to say because I'm not as good as Jim.
We're very spontaneous here at the Ascertainers.
Song I chose on this week is a cover of a Ike Turner.
Ike. Who sang it, though? Ike sang it?
Ike sang it from 1958.
I know no Ike Turner songs. I know Ike and Tina Turner songs, but no Ike Turner
I agree.
songs.
I don't know.
Ike seemed like a cool guy, though. Real level-headed. I like how he dealt with stress. Very confident that he'd get away with it, guy. So, yeah.
My song is You Gotta Lose, performed by the Black Keys. They just dropped it probably 5 months ago. It's a very rocking tune.
I agree.
George Thorogood did a cover of it in 1977.
I will say that I probably should apologize to the Black Keys in a similar fashion to maybe I should apologize to Dustin Hoffman, not
Okay.
Richard Dreyfuss. Fuck that guy. But the Black Keys never did anything to me. Like, they never spoke poorly of me. Maybe I think, you know what it was? I didn't think I didn't like their aesthetic, man. And that is no way to go through life. Didn't they have the big dumb glasses and they looked alike and they wore the suit? And
I don't think I've ever seen a video of them till now, but I know Gold on the Ceiling and what's her other big hit?
I know. I mean, they had them and they were a thing. They were really,
they were good. They had a good.
But maybe I didn't take them seriously because they were a two-piece. And I was like, come on, man. Because I think.
But they always had other musicians with them.
Well, that's the thing. It's like you're a two-piece, but I'm pretty sure I hear a bass going there. You know? Why don't you just pay the bass player? Maybe it's because my kid plays bass. And it's like,
or are you
that's discrimination.
Like us, that big of dicks that no one wants to be part of the Ascertainers full time.
I just heard big dicks. And thank you for noticing.
You're welcome.
I don't know, but maybe I'll give them. Maybe that's what I'll do when I retire. Is I'll listen to the Black Keys in 31 months. 31 months, I turned 65. Seems like I'm not going to make it, like physically or employmentally, but that's the plan.
You know, at our age, time flies so quick. Who would have thought we would be doing this 3.5 years?
Certainly not me.
Certainly not the public.
The public doesn't even know we're doing it now. So I don't think you can count them.
Oh,
but
shoot.
Okay. So your song of the week was that. Say it again. Name of the song and by the Black Keys.
You Got to Lose by the Black Keys.
Got to Lose by the Black Keys. Our topic tonight, because it applies to my song, is greatest athletes.
That's why you wanted me to say something.
I gave you the chance to introduce the topic, but now I have to because it's contextually
I didn't
relevant.
Remember that. You did tell me that.
Those are a couple of big words for you. I'm going to let you Google those for a sec, and I will tell you that I went with a band that I hardly ever talk about. The name of the song is Marathon, and the artist is, if I'm pronouncing this correctly, Rush. And I always thought it was a very uplifting song. And I could think if I was running a marathon or even briskly walking a 5K, that it would be a good song to have in the old earbuds to keep you going, kind of. So let's say you're just trying to get through your week as a stenographer at the, federal courthouse, and you're just like, it's got a stellar bass line. And I like the chorus a lot. And Mark says they harmonized. And I'm like, it looks like Alex Lifeson's singing. But my son Alex and I have an old saying is that you're about as useless as Alex Lifeson's microphone. Because I don't think he actually sings. I think it's all dubs. But if he does sing, I apologize, Alex Lifeson. And if you want to come on and talk to me about it, we'll try to fit you in. No promises. It kind of sounds like him, though. So maybe I'm wrong. But let's stir it up. Let's go. Alex Lifeson, Dustin Hoffman, Richard Dreyfuss. Come at me.
Let's break into their backstage green room, eat their sandwiches.
Yes.
And then you can ask him if he actually sings.
Just like Jason Segel and Paul Rudd and bring in our 9-string. Although he calls it a 9-string. I don't get, how is it a 9-string? That's not even a thing. That'd be a 5-string and a 4-string. Either way, that's one of the funnier scenes. And So good. So Marathon is my song of the week. Rush is on the road. Remember the one time we were talking about how I'm so against Rush going back on the road? Apparently, they're fantastic. They did something with his voice where remember I said, I have no idea what they did to make Don Felder sound exactly like he should sound, and I don't care. So it seems that his voice is much improved. He must have to give less effort through whatever electronics they can go. They did cancel a few dates though, like early. Like they were off for like 2 weeks because Getty got sick. He got like whatever, laryngitis or whatever. It's like, that's where I thought, do a residency. That's where the band plays at the same place. Like U2 did a residency at the Sphere in Vegas. I'm not saying, I don't think Rush could pull to do a Sphere like long run engagement, but there are a lot of big rooms in Vegas where you could have a fine time wherever the hockey team plays. That'd be great. Do it in the summertime. They ain't playing hockey, as far as I know. I don't know.
Bon Jovi just canceled because
You can't sing?
well, he
Or they couldn't
says he
sell
has a
tickets.
sinus infection. But I think early on in the tour, everything goes great, but your voice wears down. And when you get older,
I have thoughts on that. I think that it can either go, I think when you're young, that your voice gets stronger over the course of a tour. Whereas when you're old, it goes downhill. But either way, I saw David Lee Roth canceled his tour, like not canceled some dates, said not happening. And that couldn't have come any sooner.
yeah, that should have,
That was like a mercy killing right there.
it should have never happened in the first place.
That poor son of a bitch. He seems like the nicest guy in the world. He's like Henry Winkler level nice, but his chops are gone. Henry Winkler can still act. David Lee Roth, you really should have considered a savings account, IRA, some kind of a.
God, I hope he saved the money.
He made
plenty.
money.
He's probably still getting royalties.
Yeah, but I don't know. The fact that he's out there doing that and so cheerfully knowing that how god awful it really is.
Maybe in his mind, he doesn't know how bad it is.
You know what I think it is? I think the people that stole all his money are like, you sound terrific. Don't listen to him. Get out there and do it again, Dave. Look how nice you look in your leather pants and what's left of your hair. I want to do a Henry Winkler, David Lee Roth, like tour, like somebody else went and did like an interview tour, a couple of old guys. I would do that. And then we'll be on too. We'll get to warm them up. Ascertainers stage show.
Wow.
We'll be on we'll only do like 90 minutes. So it won't be a big deal. And then those two will come on and go.
Let's go out there with not a topic either.
I think that improv is really, people are eating that stuff up. So let's do that. Topic is greatest athletes. I have a lot of material, and I would like to offer you how you would like to format this, because this is your idea. Just, we wear headphones, but I could tell because of the headphones that I feel like I'm almost doing vocal fry. Is that what they call it? Like how the hot chicks talk? Today's topic, how they growl, that kind of thing. I feel like I'm doing that, but I'm not trying to. And it's bugging me.
We had your mother on, and she got to wear the headphones without them plugged in. So we want to give the guests
not only were they not
experience.
plugged in, she said, I can't hear anything with these on. And
Several
we're like,
times.
Hey, can it, old lady? And then the next week we realized, oh no, they weren't plugged in at all. So how do you want to lay it out? What did you tell me? You said the topic for next week is going to be, and we had a whole week to think about this.
The reason the idea came up, after the World Cup, they were talking about on these sports channels, greatest athletes. And I thought, that'd be a great topic for the Ascertainers.
That's us.
So I pitched it to Jim, and he said, I'm in. But me, personally, I went with athletic ability. Not like Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth was great at baseball, but he wasn't really athletic to say that.
Babe Ruth?
He could run
12-second 40. Don't worry, Babe Ruth is not on my list. I have a few serious and a few not so serious. Why don't you lead the way?
My top athlete is Jim Thorpe. Is that on your list?
number 3 on my list.
See, I told you we would have some overlap.
Jim Thorpe was a Olympic decathlon winner.
He was a pentathlon also.
They didn't have.
He had both
back then. Oh, both.
He won gold in both.
And he played 3 professional sports.
He did.
That's pretty good. You know what else he was? An original American, but not from your.
No, he was in the Oklahoma area. Something that you may not have known: the same year that he won 2 gold medals at the 1912 Olympics, he won the 1912 Intercollegiate Ballroom Dancing Championship.
Really? Hey, let's go upstairs real quick.
Hi, we're back.
I don't know how exactly we, excuse me, that's the devil Cheez-Its are in me. I'm not sure how we notified you, the listener, of us leaving the airwaves, but there was a bunch of texts came onto my phone, and I'm like, ooh, Mark, this is unusual. I'm going to check these texts. And it turns out there was a house fire.
Block and a half away?
Block and a half away, yeah. Not like we were not in any danger or anything like that, but just like it was blazing. The flames were shooting out of the top of the house, and the pictures that we saw in the text I got. And by the time we got there, it's like the attic, the roof was open, or side of the roof was open, and it was it was smoldering or worse. It wasn't like flame shooting, but it was still very much an orange apparition, and they were just douching that thing with fire hoses. So that house it's done as far as the damage that was done to it. So from accounts that we heard, people got out, and it sounds like it was caused potentially by fireworks in the garage. And because people were like comparing it to like gunshots, and then the flames, and then the emergency vehicles and all that shit. So since there weren't a lot of ambulances, I'm assuming those weren't gunshots. It's probably fireworks. So careful with your fireworks, everybody. We might have got a new listener, the Ascertainers. That's pretty bad. But somebody said, oh, what are you guys up to? And we said, well, we were just recording our podcast, and now here we are. And they're like, oh, what's your podcast? I feel like I will stop at nothing.
We did meet some very nice people under terrible circumstances.
Well, what sucks is that the main couple that we met live, would that be a block away?
Kitty corner
block away. They've lived there 25 years. Oops, sorry, we haven't met. But they knew, we had mutual neighbor friends and stuff. So anyway, hey, I guess count your blessings, and don't do stuff that will make your house start on fire, and everybody should be okay. When we left off, though, I do know that we were talking about Jim Thorpe, and this episode is about the greatest athlete, best athletes. Mark leads with his first guy, and he gets interrupted.
I know it.
In addition to Jim Thorpe being a heptathlon champion, decathlon too?
Yes.
And did he play pro football and baseball?
He played.
And basketball?
Yes.
And he won a collegiate ballroom dancing competition?
Championship. The same year he won the 2 gold medals at the Olympics.
Did he have kids? I'd be curious if his kids were like super great athletes.
He did. He had 3 wives and 8 kids.
Oh, so he was like ahead of his time. Like what year was he like the decathlon champ? Like was it the
1912.
1912?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
In 1961, Dwight D. Eisenhower, in a speech, here's the quote: "Here and there are some people who are supremely endowed. My memory goes back to Jim Thorpe. He never practiced in his life, and he could do anything better than any other football player I ever saw." This is the President of the United States. Unfortunately, Jim Thorpe died in 1954, ran into some problems, and alcoholism took over his life.
That it can hit anyone. What I find interesting, as interesting as that was Dwight Eisenhower?
Yes.
Isn't Eisenhower on the dime? Who was on the dime before Eisenhower? Or were there no dimes? A little off topic, but I think it's important to talk about since there's no pennies anymore. But Lincoln goes pretty far back.
A lot of the coins just had eagles or something else on that, didn't have a politician on them.
Okay. I suppose the silver dollar, the Kennedy, or was that the half dollar? Kennedy half dollar?
Half dollar.
They probably had a half dollar before Kennedy. Kennedy came after Eisenhower. I mean, no one's ever seen them at the same party. Give it time. I can't eat these Cheez-Its. Mark and I went on a wilderness walk to see this fire, and I busted out a couple Cheez-Its. And they make for bad podcasting, so I just swallowed the Cheez-It. Feel better.
I opened up with my top athlete of all time just because, I wanted to have a brethren on.
Brethren, as in a person of Native American heritage?
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I don't care what the heck Jim Thorpe was. He was, I can't argue it. I mean, I had two other people above him on my list, but if neither one has the accomplishments of him. Do you want to hear one of mine?
Yes, definitely.
Do you want to hear a serious one or
a serious one?
Okay. I'm going to go with, I think the greatest athlete is Sebastian Sawe, is I believe how you pronounce it, because he is the first person to ever break 2 hours in the marathon. And that means that he ran 26 consecutive miles at a 4-minute, 33-mile pace.
Wow.
And I'll tell you what, I know all he did was run, but that's messed up, dude. He broke 2 hours in a marathon. I participated in a 5K, and it took me 45 minutes and 49 seconds or something like that. That's ridiculous. That Usain Bolt, his times, they'll get beat. I suppose this guy's times will get beat too, but as far as athleticism, it's like, okay, well, that guy covered that distance that fast, those sprints, that's one thing. But this is fast and
endurance,
massive endurance. I mean, that's a bigger toll on the body. So that's my top guy.
That's impressive.
Can I double back?
You can.
So I'll double back and I'll say, after that, I sound a little weird. I'm going to go with Tom Brady. Allow me to elaborate, because I saw that look. Mark dipped his head. He dipped his head in disgust, I'll say.
Okay, yes,
okay,
I did.
For all the people that have ever played football that never won a Super Bowl, okay? This guy won 7 Super Bowls, and I'm not sure if you've ever played quarterback in the NFL, but you are literally the quarterback. No, you're trying to do your job with 300-pound guys trying to kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like, these linemen don't mess around. And if it's not 300-pounder, it's a guy who weighs 225 and can run like a deer. Not on a full years. I'm just saying fast. I just hated that. He runs like a deer. It's like, God, didn't that slow him down? Or isn't traffic a concern? I think Tom Brady's 7 Super Bowls in the modern era of football, let alone how old he was when he won his last, and the whole story, he wasn't a starter. He was drafted like in the 6th round or whatever. Not athletic in his pro day. His 40 is comically slow. And he is comically unathletic looking. But the brain and the physical tools and the execution that's required makes me think that Tom Brady is a top athlete of all time.
It's funny that you say he's not athletic, but he's a top athlete.
He doesn't have athleticism, but he participated in athletic pursuit.
On a team sport.
Okay. Oh.
So that's where...
So is all yours individuals? Is Bart Connor on yours? Gymnast? Because if he is, I'll go upstairs, find something to do.
Well, Muhammad Ali is my third one.
Okay.
Because it's an individual sport. Tom Brady is he might be the all-time greatest quarterback, but athletically, he couldn't transfer that to basketball. He couldn't run track. Go ahead.
I have some 2-sport athletes on my list. Why don't you give me your next one?
Since we're from Minnesota.
Nick Bockwinkel?
Bud Grant. He was drafted by the Minneapolis Lakers and the Philadelphia Eagles in the same year.
All right.
He went with the Minneapolis Lakers played with them 2 seasons, won the championship in 1950, then went to the Philadelphia Eagles as a defensive lineman, led the Eagles in sacks.
Wow.
Said, I want to play wide receiver, was second in the NFL in receiving yards with 997 yards. Then he went to the Eagles and said, you know what? Pay me more. And they said no, so he went to the Canadian League, and he did really well up there for 3 years. He was a or a tight end up in the Canadian League, but he has a record of 5 interceptions in one game. That's a tight end. Go figure.
You know what's funny is that I only knew him. I knew he played for the Lakers, and I knew he played pro football. I never knew he was, because he's Bud Grant. He never self-promoted.
Oh no!
As a coach, what do you have a Bud Grant quote that really sticks with you? I have one, and that is, when you score a touchdown, act like you've been there. Celebrate in the end zone.
Right.
Just act like you've been there before. And that's just like, that's such a badass Scandinavian quote.
He was also the youngest Canadian Football League coach ever. He got hired at 29, but he didn't coach till he was 30.
He did all that stuff in his 20s?
Yeah.
God. Wow. Jeez, man. Hey, what you see is what you get, guy, as far as he didn't put on any airs. He was just same guy in an interview as you see at the gas station, as you see at the,
So he walked out for the coin toss. The Metrodome roof had collapsed. So they were playing out at the Gopher Stadium.
At Parade Stadium? No. Yeah. It was before the bank. It was, yeah.
And it must have been minus 20 wind chill.
Hold on. He never coached in the Metrodome?
No, he was the honorary coin tosser.
Oh, thank you. Okay. I was going to say, he played at Met Stadium on his whole.
No, he was in his 90s.
Yeah. Okay.
And he walks out there in a short sleeve shirt to do the coin toss. He passed away later. But
yeah, of pneumonia, dumbass. But anyway, no, I'm sorry, Bud and the family of Bud Grant. I know y'all listen. But that was his thing is that as like the home field advantage was that he didn't allow heaters on the sidelines. So the other team would be over there freezing their asses off. And I think the rationale is that his players would want to get in the game and just get warm, as opposed to standing there freezing their asses off on the sidelines. Exactly
what he said. He said they would gather around the heaters instead of being invested in the game.
Well, shoot, man. Well, I'm going to go Bruce Jenner. For a chick to win the men's decathlon. I'm sorry. It's now Caitlin. And that should have been on my honorable mention. Winning decathlon is great, but there's a decathlon winner every year, and he doesn't have the record for all that. But I will go with, I have two sport guys, both football, baseball, and I think full body of work, Deion Sanders should be considered a greater athlete than Bo Jackson. Here's why. And here's why I don't have Michael Jackson on the list. Or Michael Jordan. MJ. I've never seen Muhammad Ali moonwalk. I've seen him do the Ali shuffle, but Michael Jordan played baseball. Michael Jordan was not successful at baseball. Deion Sanders played in an NFL, correct me if I'm wrong, he couldn't have played an NFL playoff game, and he played an NFL regular season game and a baseball playoff game, possibly World Series game, when he was with the Reds or the Braves, in the same day. That's pretty good. He played in the two sports, and the only way that if it was going to be a playoff game, it would have had to have been a baseball, like an October baseball game, September-October baseball game, and it must have been in Atlanta, so it must have been the Braves and the Falcons when he played there. You're looking at me. I feel like I don't know. Think I'm full of shit, or you are.
I did not research Deion Sanders.
You don't think he's a great athlete?
I do.
Okay.
He rubs me the wrong way, so maybe that's why. He was just a little too flashy, and even when he was playing defense, he would get the calls even though he was mugging the receiver, and they would just let it go because he was Deion Sanders.
Did you like him as a punt returner? Tell me something nice about Deion Sanders. As a punt returner, it's like
he's a pretty good coach at the Buffaloes.
He was what?
He's a pretty good coach at the Colorado Buffaloes.
I think he shapes fine young men. I don't know if perfectly, but he delivers the message, I think, that
I do like his coaching
America's
style.
youths could use. While you're doing your next one, I'm going to look up Deion playoff.
Well, Bo Jackson was an honorable mention, and you brought his name up. But his body of work in baseball was more impressive than Deion Sanders. His home runs, his batting average, his fielding. I think he made the All-Star team one year.
In
baseball.
Baseball, yeah.
He was honorable mention on my list. But I think he would have been one of, or maybe even the top one if it wasn't for the hip injury.
Very well could have been. You know what's kind of cool about, when I think about Bo Jackson, I think about obviously the catch, you know, when he ran up along the wall when he was I think he only played with Kansas City, but there's that. There's also the throw from like the corner, the third baseline corner. He throws it, I think, without a hop to the catcher, or one hop. The catcher blew by the cutoff and got Harold Reynolds, I think is who he got for the Mariners. Threw him out at the plate. It was like, how the hell did that happen? But I think about him playing at Auburn, and in the same year, I might be missing a guy. It was Bo Jackson, Frank Thomas, Charles Barkley, and there might have been even a fourth guy. So that was like pretty good year to be an Auburn fan, I think. So Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders. I did look up Deion Sanders 2 games in one day, and what the internet tells me, Deion Sanders did not actually play in 2 professional games in one day, but he famously suited up for both an NFL and MLB game on October 11, 92. Football. He played quarterback and returned kicks for the Falcons in a 21-17 loss against the Dolphins. Immediately after the football game, he took a private jet to helicopter to Pittsburgh, joined the Atlanta Braves. Game 5 of the NLCS. The reality is he was in uniform and on the roster. He ultimately sat on the bench and did not play. Bo Jackson is the better athlete between the two. I have a couple others I'd like to bring up. Tell me you said you had...
Jim Thorpe, Micael Jordan, Muhammad Ali.
Well, let's talk about Ali.
Ali, he had such physical attributes. You're in there getting hit all the time. I don't know if the listeners can hear, but Jim is crunching in my ear. Or maybe I was hallucinating.
Usually I'm sitting across the table from him, but this time I walked over and I just started chewing in his ear.
But to be that physically excellent and be hit all the time, which takes so much out of you, and still to be able to go out there and do it again, that to me is amazing.
I would have said Scott Ledoux. No, I think outside of the ring stuff, like how great of an interview he was, and how what a great like ambassador for boxing. And then he crossed into the political with the draft, and with didn't he get you go to jail or get banned from boxing or something?
He got banned from boxing
because he was a conscientious objector, I think is what they called him. But yeah, I mean, he's kind of like, it's Tom Brady like, because there are a lot of boxers that held the same, unified a belt. Not a lot, but there are others. Lennox Lewis, you could say, wow, I think Lennox Lewis could have beat Muhammad Ali, but
I don't think so. Both in their prime, no.
Okay, well, either way, hard to argue Muhammad Ali.
His physical attributes, if he went into other sports, I think he could have excelled.
Okay. Would you get to punch him too, or no? I think you'd do great in like swimming. You got 2 guys you can hit right there before the race even starts.
So it's like water polo / swimming.
That's sharks. I have an idea for a new Olympic event. Shark swim punching, synchronized swim punching.
All right, to yours.
I'm going to go with John Curtis, also known as the loneliest runner, in a movie about a kid that wet the bed.
I did see that movie.
The mom hung the sheets out.
Yes.
To shame him every day.
Because he broke the 4-minute mile.
No, that was not. No, nice try. I think that in the movie maybe he did, but he became like this It's based on the life story of Michael Landon. Fun fact. Thanks for making me, cut to the chase right away there. But I remember as a kid who had a little problem with the whole bedwetting thing, thinking, hey, Ma, thanks for not hanging my sheets out. I could have been faster. No. But yes, the whole concept premise was, I think that, use your weakness as a strength or, to.
Was that not a real story?
Apparently it is based on, I have it saved right here.
Now I'm so shattered.
Yeah, are you crestfallen?
I am.
It happens.
I don't even know what my crest is, but it's
I looked
fallen.
up. Do you want to see what my Google search was? Movie about kid who wet the bed and became successful runner. The movie you're looking for is The Loneliest Runner, a 1976 biographical television movie written, directed, and produced by Michael Landon. That's Little House on the Prairie to you and me. It stars Lance Kerwin as young John Curtis and is based on Landon's own real-life childhood experiences. Plot summary: The struggle. A 13-year-old boy named John Curtis struggles with chronic bedwetting. I think just chronic doesn't need to really, just bedwetting. We got it. The humiliation. His harsh mother punishes and shames him by hanging his wet bed sheets out the bedroom window for the entire neighborhood to see. The running. To keep his friends from seeing the sheets, John races home from school as fast as he can every day to take them down. The success. The intense daily practice builds his speed and stamina, leading him to join the track team and eventually grow up to be an Olympic champion. So, I don't think that Michael Landon was an Olympic champion, but I think that John Curtis in that movie was the greatest athlete because what I just said. But I think I saw Michael Landon on Battle of the Network Stars, and I think he got beat by like Wayne Gretzky. So in the 100. So I don't know if, or Eric Estrada or one of those guys.
It's Eric Estrada.
By the way, that one thing you showed me, I haven't looked at it since, but the thing, the chips scene, that stuck with me, man. That was funny stuff.
With Dax
Shepard and that other guy that's in everything. John Pena?
Michael Pena.
Michael Pena. Also on my athletes list. That's all I had for athletes. I had John Daly too, but that was just to be a goof. Because what he did when he won his first PGA, he drove through the night, showed up, and won a major championship. He got in because some guy dropped out. And they're like, can you get here? He's like, yeah.
Smoking a pack and a half in the car. And
there's a great little video out of him where it's something like John Daly's morning routine. He gets out of the golf cart, slams a beer, lights a cigarette and goes, where's the first tee and what's the course record? And then he drives off or whatever.
If you had a random join your threesome, John Daly would be great.
Oh, I'd take him over Barkley, Brady, and Manning for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Although he might kind of go suave after about the fourth hole. You'd be like...
I think his stories would be pretty funny.
I think it would be like the roadie in Wayne's World 2, where he just keeps talking about, and then he hung himself with his own he beat himself to death with his own shoe. And then he just tells it like umpteen times, and everyone's like, enough of this guy.
Get a hold of us at the Ascertainers@gmail.com. Not to be that abrupt.
We're sorry.
At the end
well, yeah, we should throw an apology before. This was an odd episode because we talked about sports, which I'm vehemently against. We were interrupted by a local emergency, and I have in my mouth right now one Cheez-It where I look like I'm the Godfather because I'm trying not to make it sound like I'm eating a Cheez-It, but do I look like Brando a little bit? Because I
never go against the family.
That's right.
You can also like us on Facebook, share us with a friend.
Yeah,
At least visit the page.
Whatever. No one's forcing you.
How hard is that? Come on. It's like tap your finger, go to the Ascertainers.
Yeah, because we need you, I guess, and stuff. Go to Newt's and get the Cubano. And if it's off the menu, just ask for it. Tell them the Ascertainer said you could get it. Tell them Mark did.
Bye.